Hello guys, I am Mr. Niladri Hoshal. Today I will explain about dissolution concept. So first of all we have to know about the definition of the dissolution. The definition actually says that it is the process in which a solid substance solubilizes in a given solvent, that is the mass transfer from the solid surface to the liquid surface. Mainly, it is an experiment where typically prepared dosage units in our laboratory or our industry, we can say in our academics or in our industry, are testing in a simulated instrument as similar to our body fluid and the body environment also. By this experiment, we measures the dosage form which we take from our mouth into our stomach gastric environment and finally dissolve into that particular gastric fluid. Then that dosage form release their dosage form into that gastric fluid, finally absorbed through the stomach cells or cell liner and gives the bioavailability in our body is typically conducted outside of our body, called the in vitro test. Here the dissolution test is performed outside of our body, so this is called in vitro dissolution test. As a simplest form, in one line we can say that the measure the rate of the solution formation from a dosage form. This is about the dissolution. Next, some questions I will explain in front of you, which will help you to know about some concept about the dissolution and easily handle in academics and as well as the industry purpose also, which will very much effective for your like competitive exam and semester exams. So those questions are in front of you, like why this drug solubilization required in a given solvent? Because the prepared dosage form is necessary to reach in our target area. Okay, and if the drug does not solubilizes properly into the particular fluid, then it will not reach in your or our target area. Finally, it will not work properly in our body and patient will not cured. So that's why dissolution apparatus is required for testing this solubility. Next question is why dissolution test is required. Here the dissolution test is required for evaluation of the bioavailability. Bioavailability term, actually who does not know the bioavailability term, for them that I can say that the bio means biologically, availability means available, means biologically which thing is available. Here the drug we have to take, and that drug is biologically means in our blood, how much drug is present in our bloodstream as an active drug. Okay, the active drug how much present in our blood, this is called the bioavailability of the particular drug. So on that purpose, means the evaluation of that bioavailability, the dissolution test is necessary. Next is the batch to batch uniform drug release testing. So batch to batch means actually in our industry, there the tablet has been prepared in a rotary tablet compressor machine, and there have multiple stations also, and into that particular station the compressing has been takes place, but from where the drug particles came out, from where? From the hopper. On the hopper the mixing material like active pharmaceutical ingredient, binder, additives, which is actually mentioned in our manual, and then that preparation has been made and transfer that mixture into the hopper. Okay, so this is one batch. After completing that hopper, next composition, if they placed on that hopper, then same composition, but at the next time fill that hopper, means this is the second batch. If the ratio of that ingredients are not used on that mixture properly, then the release of that particular drug must be hampered. That's why this dissolution test is performed, that to confirm that the batch to batch uniformly release has been takes place, and the dosage form is very reliable. That's why the dissolution test is performed. Next question is, what are the commonly used dissolution media? Actually, there I have told earlier that we have take that drug into our stomach, and we all know that in our stomach there have some gastric fluids, and so that's why the in the in vitro method there have no stomach like gastric fluid, but the simulated gastric fluid we can use there. So those are the dissolution media, means the simulated one. We can use distilled water as well as buffer. So those are the solution where the drug has been dropped and the dissolving has been takes place by some rotation speed and some parameters may follow, then the dissolution has been takes place. So those are the dissolution media actually. So those dissolution medias are the distilled water, buffer, which pH comes under 5 to 7. The distilled water and buffer pH slightly similar. So many people are use distilled water in place of buffer. And the next is the dilute acid, and the dilute acid contains 0.001 to 0.1 normal of HCl, which is simulated, and like our stomach's gastric fluid. And I will show you that how this 0.1 normal HCl is prepared. And next is the surfactant, and those surfactants actually here used because of some of the drugs, those are the poorly water soluble. Okay, so that's why the surfactants are generally used. Next question is, what are the types of dissolution calibration? So first of all, we have to know that what is calibration. Actually, if you go to your shopkeeper and told him or her that give 1 kg of potato, so that shopkeeper will give you 1 kg of potato by weighing, and that weighing has been takes place by 1 kg of dumbbell. So who can told you that 1 kg dumbbell they has been placed on that instrument, particularly that dumbbell is originally 1 kg. So that's why that that originality maintaining purpose, the calibration has been takes place. Two dissolution calibration process, one is physical and one is chemical. And this physical calibration is monthly basis, check the critical physical parameter of the particular instrument, like thermostat working or not properly, or the meter where the RPM or rotation per minute is showing, that portion is showing proper rotation per minute or less or high. This type of physical parameter are checked monthly basis on that dissolution apparatus. And the chemical calibration is done or carried out during the installation of the instrument, and then every 6 months to check the stability of the particular apparatus. Next is about the dissolution. So I am now going to tell you that how the drug is go to the stomach and how the dissolution has been performed in our stomach, and how that stomach occurring thing is done in vitro method. So first of all, we have to give some amount of drug into the patient's body. When it go to the patient's stomach, it will look like this type of minute globules. But how? Because of disintegration. This tablet is go through our gastrointestinal tract and placed into the stomach. Finally it will disintegrate and produce slightly molecular in shape. This is the disintegration, and this is not our today's topic. Our today's topic is the next one, which is the dissolution. This is the dissolution, which is another minute globules has been formed by dissolving into the stomach fluid, and then this dissolution material is transferred into this cell liner of the particular stomach cell lining, cell liner. So at the previous year, scientists are performed this dissolution test by collecting the blood from the patient's body, that for the purpose of that how much drug is actually present into the bloodstream, means the bioavailability of the particular dosage form. And this test is performed after few minutes, and this is like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes and 25 minutes. So patients are very uncomfortable at that testing time. Finally scientists discover one instrument. This is the instrument which is known as the dissolution apparatus, USP dissolution apparatus discovered, which is actually performed like our gastric environment. Means here we can see that few buckets are present. This is actually the simulated stomach, and at the black portion we can see that this is the outer side of our stomach, and this environment means the outer side of the stomach's environment is maintained by this type of water bath, and where we can see that in the black portion where the thermostat is placed. So after increasing the concentration of the drug in the solvent as the time increase, so finally the patient get relief and they do not get hampered further. Now the all tests of dissolutions are performed into this apparatus, industries as well as academics. Next is the types of apparatus. There are various types of apparatus. Actually the apparatus mainly we can see here that one paddle like structure is situated inside the bucket. This is the actual instrument, and we can elaborately describe that how much instrument are there and which instruments are generally used in our pharmaceutical industry most, as well as academics. Actually those instruments are placed in these sections mainly. So let's come to the types of apparatus. First is rotating basket, next is rotating paddle, next is reciprocating cylinder, next is flow through cell, next is paddle over disc, next is cylinder, next is reciprocating disc. These are the apparatus mainly, apparatus 1 to 7. Those are the apparatus mainly used, and the instrumentation I can elaborately describe in front of you. This is the instrument of dissolution apparatus, and where one vessel we can see here that contain the dissolution medium, like those solutions, simulated solutions like distilled water, buffer, simulated gastric fluid. Okay, those ingredients actually, those solutions actually, which I described in the previous slides. Next is the basket type, which is the apparatus 1, USP apparatus 1 basket type, and USP apparatus 2 paddle type. Next is the water bath, where the dissolution vessel is placed and which contain actually the water, and next is the level of the water here denoted, and next is the thermostat by which the water bath is heated. And next is the locked lid, where the vessel is steadily attached into the particular instrument. Next is the shaft, by which the paddle or basket is particularly set on that instrument properly. This is the keypad for data entry, where the rotation or the temperature has been enlisted, and this is the rotation per minute of the particular instrument has been set place, and this is the temperature display, this is the time. So this rotation per minute actually given here because this paddle is rotated inside of the vessel, because the maintaining the peristalsis movement of our stomach. So that's why the RPM speed is given into the instrument. And these are the shaft actually placed uniformly for uniformly precise rotation. And that's all about the instrumentation. Now came to the another section of the instrumentation, where the type 1 and type 2 apparatus are I will describe, which are mainly used in our academics as well as industries very commonly. The type 1 apparatus is the basket type, and this type 1 apparatus contain the 40 mesh size sieve, and which is made up of stainless steel. This 40 mesh size sieve actually denoted that in 1 inch how much sieve is present. Here in 1 inch 40 sieve is present. So that's why this is the 40 mesh size calling in this purpose. Next is the type 2 apparatus, paddle type. This is the paddle type apparatus. These two apparatus are very common questions for the academics as well as many competitive exams also. Remembering these two types, type 1 is basket, where the paddle may be insert, but into the paddle the basket will not insert. So first of all we have to insert the paddle into the basket. This is our aim. That's why you have to take first the basket type apparatus, this is the type 1, and next the paddle type, which is type 2 apparatus. So that's why you can easily remember these things. These two apparatus are inserted into this type of vessel, where one cylindrical portion is there, and below the cylindrical portion one hemisphere, the curved portion known as the hemisphere, and the middle portion of the curved and cylindrical portion is the transition, and one flange is the upper side of the particular cylinder or the vessel. And this vessel actually consisting 1000 ml of solution, but only 900 ml of solution actually stored in this particular apparatus for the dissolution testing. And then it is dipped into the water bath, and this is the water bath which maintain 37 plus minus 0.5 degrees centigrade temperature. Next question is the preparation of 900 ml of 0.1 normal HCl of maintaining the pH of 1.2 particular HCl into 900 ml. So how will you prepare? You have to know one equation. This is the N1V1 equals to N2V2. N is the normality, V is the volume, N1 is the normality of HCl, which is actually denoted of the marketed HCl bottle. You can easily take the reading from that particular HCl bottle. Next is the N2, which is 0.1 normal, and V2, which is 900 ml. This is the distilled water, and V1 we have to calculate. So let's calculate 0.1 normal HCl into 900 ml of distilled water. So 11.79 is the normality of the HCl actually denoted into the glass bottle of the marketed HCl. V1 we have to calculate 0.1 normal, and the 900 ml of distilled water is given into our question. So you can easily measure this quantity, and the final quantity is 7.63 ml. This 7.63 ml added into the distilled water and make up the volume up to 900 ml. So this is the calculation of the preparation of 900 ml of 0.1 normal HCl. Next is the simulation. Simulation means how this dissolution apparatus actually works, or we can say that how the tablet is releasing those drugs into the particular vessel. So this is that simulation I will show you. This is the simulated portion of the basket type apparatus 1, USP apparatus 1, where we can see that two sections are mainly here. This is the red section, which is the turbulent section, means here the force is more greater, and this is the Prussian blue section where the turbulence is much lower, means here is no turbulence actually. So in the basket we can see that one thin line is there which is red in color, means here the turbulence is greater, and inside this basket the tablet is placed. When it is rotating at a particular rotation, then the drug will release from the side section of the particular dosage form and release the dose into the outside of the medium or the dissolution medium or the solution. Next is the paddle apparatus 2. Here actually the tablet or the dosage form is placed. We can see here that in the second picture where the tablet is placed, and we can see here that less turbulence is denoted as blue in color and high turbulence is denoted as red in color, medium is blue in color, and slightly less is green in color, slightly less is sky in color, and no turbulence is denoted as Prussian blue in color. So this is about the simulation of the paddle type apparatus and the basket type apparatus. How this apparatus actually works in our laboratory. This is the simulated picture of that particular instrument. Next is the UV spectrophotometer. When the sample collection done from the particular instrument, then the total sample is checked into the UV spectrophotometer where the absorbance measured. And this is the UV spectrophotometer setup, where one double beam UV spectrophotometer we can see here. This is the double beam UV spectrophotometer, and this is the computer by which this double beam UV spectrophotometer has been operated. And here two cubettes are present, and those cubettes are made up of quartz, and those cubettes have two-sided is very hazy section, and this cubette actually for taking the sample from the test tube which we collect previously from the dissolution apparatus, and two cubettes composed of, one is blank and another one is for sample. So blank composed of the solution which we actually used in the dissolution apparatus, means we can use sometime distilled water, sometime 0.1 normal of HCl. So like this, the blank will the 0.1 normal HCl or distilled water, it is varied actually, and one is for sample. So how this sample is treated in this inside this UV spectrophotometer, like this. There have one light source. From there the light is transferred, and one collimator is there by which the light is passed and meet in one point over the prism, and from the prism there and wavelength selector is there by which one light is came out and directly penetrate the cubette and finally heated into the detector, and detector detect the absorbance of the particular solution or the particular sample which is shown into the computer. That's all about the UV spectrophotometer mechanism, and by which we can easily measure the absorbance versus concentration graph, as well as the percentage release versus time graph. The percentage release versus time graph actually performed by the dissolution of or the release of the particular drug, means in how much time how much drug has been released on that particular solution. This is measured by this release profile graph. Here actually 3 tablet and 3 powder has been performed, and one graph is extrapolated with each other. This percentage release versus time graph, how it is established, I will discuss in my another video. Next is the acceptance criteria. Actually, the acceptance criteria measured by the Q values. Based on the Q values, the acceptance criteria actually measured. And this Q is the percentage of the drug content dissolved in a given time period. In the USP monograph, the Q values actually specified. Next is the criteria. First of all, we have to take in stage 1 section 6 dosage units. If those 6 dosage units are passed, it will follow this criteria that it will be Q plus 5, means 80 plus 5, 85% or more the reading when occurred, then it will be passed. If it is lesser than 85, then it will not pass. And if it is failed, then it will go for stage 2, where another 6 dosage unit we have to take, and finally the 12 dosage units we have to perform and average those 12 dosage units. If those 12 dosage units is greater than Q percentage, means Q is the 80%. If the Q is the 80%, then the Q will pass, or Q is 81%, 82%, 83%, then it will pass. If the Q is 79%, then it will not pass. And it can only consider that one single unit can show less than Q minus 15%, means into the 12 unit, 11 unit must be 80 plus, means the percentage will be above 80%. 11 dosage unit must be 80%, and 1 dosage units may consider 65%, means Q minus 15%, means 80 minus 15 is 65%. So it is considered for 1 dosage units, but 11 dosage units must be 80% above, or 80% or 80% above. If this criteria again failed, then follow the stage 3, where additional 12 dosage units we will perform, and provides the total 24 results, where those 24 dosage units must be greater than or equal to Q percentage, means 80% or 81, 82, 83 like that, and no dosage unit less than Q minus 25%, and 2 dosage unit more than 2 dosage units not less than Q minus 15%, means the only consider 2 dosage units 65%, means 80 minus 15, 65% consider for the only 2 dosage units. This is the criteria for the acceptance of the dissolution results. That's all about the concept of the dissolution.